Hello and welcome back to the penultimate episode of my Harbinger developer commentary. Today we are going to be taking on the red wool dungeon, but first we have a green wool to place, which we managed to get in the last episode, or I did. You didn't actually get to see it, but that's neither here nor there. Let's pop this down here like that and make our glass pile. Oh, bye-bye. Right. So I've put some spare stuff in this ender chest. I've got my good stuff here. I've again forgotten a shield, so we'll grab one of those before we go. But we've got blocks, we've got everything else we need, I think. Yeah, let's just grab a shield. I also smelted up some of that gold from the gold mine and made some more golden carrots. So yeah, I think we're pretty much as good to go as we could be. I think I lost all of the we'll take one ender pearl. I think I lost all of the, I don't know why I'm lagging like this. Hopefully it settles down, but I may have to restart my computer, in which case this will be a very brief start to the episode, a brief intro. I'm on 13 chunks, that would explain why. Sorry about that. Yeah, I lost all of my golden apples, I think, in the Fall into the Void, so none of those to help us. And only one ender pearl, but hopefully that is enough. So yeah, we are going to be heading into Pain's Labyrinth, however you want to say it. And it's one of my it was slightly more divisive because it's a bit repetitive at times, but some people really like the dungeon, and it's one of my favourite in terms of the different ways it does stuff like verticality and how the player moves up and down. There's different like stairways and it uses vines and ladders and stuff to link between areas, and I think that's okay. We want to go this way. Yeah, and it kind of mixes up a few different mechanics to achieve that kind of range of motion that I wanted to have. And it's also, I think, quite a good example of how to do a nether area not in the nether. So yeah, this is the area that might break with the jump to 116 because zombified piglins are slightly different in the spawner tags than zombie pigmen were. It shouldn't be a problem, and if I update it properly with Spigot, it definitely won't be a problem, but we will see if there's any issues. I'm having some lag problems just as I walk in. And playing on the shortened render distance, you sort of get a feel of the shape of the plate as well. But the way I made this area was basically by putting together these, how wide are they? 9 by 9 chunks, laying out how I wanted the layout to be, and then copying and pasting them down. So there's about 5 different chunks that I used. So some are like, depending on whether there was something underneath, it would be a different one, or you'd have these when, yeah, I'll talk more about that as I kind of fly through towards the end, but yeah, one of the main things are the vines, which should hopefully let you kind of take on the area from different angles and such. I don't know why the lag is being this bad. I might have to, I don't know if there's anything I can really do apart from restarting my computer. I will, because at the moment this isn't really playable or watchable. So what I'm going to do is retreat, stop the recording and restart my computer, and hopefully that fixes things. Attempt number 2, so with hopefully a slightly happier computer, but we will see. I'm still lagging pretty badly, but hopefully that settles down a bit as the area loads. It may be something to do with the fact that I'm playing this in 1.16. I don't know if that's causing lots of spawners to update or something. But hopefully, as I said, I mean, it feels much better moving this way. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do if it doesn't improve, because, yeah, there isn't much we can do, really. But, yeah, so this area has a lot of up and down, and that's kind of the point. One thing I like about nether areas not in the nether is that in the nether the ambient light is 8, so you can't really do dark. And not being able to do dark just limits how effectively you can do contrast and light. It actually reduces your options, and what I think it does as well is that people skimp out on real light sources when they're in the nether. One good thing about having thorns is that I don't actually know where that spawner is, but those skeletons will kill themselves by hitting me, so that's good. Right, let us grab, well, here is the red box. We'll grab some red concrete and red glazed terracotta. Why not? Yeah, so yeah, I think having the ambient light just makes people a bit lazy, or not lazy, but it means they don't often light up their areas, and this area is really dark, but it's kind of intentional. But sometimes, like particularly in like survival servers that I've played in, people won't light up their builds properly, and therefore everything just looks kind of dull, and colours don't contrast properly and stuff like that. So I think actually moving another area into the overworld can sometimes make it much more kind of atmospheric, and make areas like better to play with and better to look at, because the dark areas are properly dark, and the light areas you have to actually kind of put light into. These do an absolute number on your armor durability, but they are pretty they don't really do any damage, they're just swarm mobs. So yeah, you can already see the thorns is taking its toll on my chest plate. I do have a couple of spare protection 4 chest plates though, so we can use those. And I haven't really approached this area very systematically, which is probably a mistake, because there are 7 levels, 7 circles of hell. That's sort of why that happened, and also I think 7's quite a good limit to set yourself on an area like this. I think any more than that really where is that? I don't know, I'm just going to get rid of these spawners before I worry too much about it. These skeletons are pretty nasty if you let them hit you. There are some punch skeletons and some power 3 skeletons, and I think the black ones are the punch ones, maybe, or maybe the black ones are power 3. There's black and red skeletons, and the yeah, they each have different things. So this is the pickaxe, a golden pickaxe, which is the equivalent of the axe and the sword that we've already seen in the map. So it gives you a speed buff, and it oh no, if I can get out of here, if I can swim up I can survive. It's not letting me swim up. Whew. When I put those iron bar bridges in, I remember thinking no one's really going to fall for these, but they look a bit cooler if you're broken up. And Yeah, I think I've probably fallen for them more than anyone else. Just the way, when I was looking then, it looked like it was continuous all the way across. But it was not. So, yeah, we did manage to survive though, thankfully. And I do also have this unbreakable, very fast pickaxe to get me out. Not my finest moment, but survive we have done. Yeah, we've kind of broken into one of the holes between. So let's see if we can break out of that hole and come over this way. Well, looks like we have been forced into a slightly more systematic approach because we are now at the bottom and we'll be moving upwards. So yeah, I think this is the kind of central pillar. So this goes all the way up to the wool, which is at the top. And yeah, you can sort of see this area from every level, which is this is the central point in the area. And those, I don't know if they have regen or fire resistance or something. Yeah, so there's a lot of mobs in here, but then I tried to make it so there were quite a lot of mobs, but they weren't spammy, and that's quite a difficult balance to get, or that they're spammy in kind of bursts. So the skeletons will swarm you, will swarm you, but it'll happen briefly and then not happening again, if that makes sense. So it's not continuous spam, but you sort of get these waves of lots of mobs all at once, which I think makes the area more intense when it kind of turns on and off like that. So if we go up here, we get about 3 levels higher, so we can do that. But I'm gonna finish off exploring this bottom layer. To be honest, we could just go straight up to the wall, and I know where there are also some diamonds in the area, so we'll need to explore for those a bit, I guess. I did see a glowing creeper that I've now lost track of, which is never a good thing. Yeah, so the main point of this bottom area, I believe, is that if we go over this way, yeah, there is an emerald. Yeah, I probably should have done white and black or something rather than red and black, because the enchanted red and enchanted black both look actually pretty similar. For the different types of skeleton, and I wanted you to be able to kind of visually identify them. We will take the additional torches though, and leave the emerald there. Good. And this pickaxe does make moving around easier, so I can recommend it for that reason, if nothing else. There was a route up, I think it was this way. Yeah, let's go up here, which is slightly off center. Most of the copying and pasting was done properly, but the odd bit wasn't. And yeah, so there's a couple of sections that are like ever so slightly off center, which isn't ideal, but it happens. There's another route upwards, which we could take. And we find our first diamond. But I will not be breaking that diamond with this pickaxe, because this pickaxe is golden and therefore it will not give me any diamonds. I do have Fortune 2 on this one, so hopefully that gives us a couple more in the fullness of time, but where are these coming from? Must be spawning somewhere. stay away from me. Don't try and push me into that gap. Yeah, and some of the slightly offlined or unaligned things will create little like lava drops, which I think is quite an unintentional but good mechanic, or like mini trap. You've got to stay more aware of your surroundings and stuff. Let's break that spawner and then run away. Successfully managed to block that skeleton. Yeah, the only thing, I limited myself to 7 layers, which I think is a good decision, because it's big enough that it feels big, but small enough that it's not endless, but if anything I think it is slightly too long still. Found our way to another of these items. Let's just check that we are safe. And yeah, so we get the final armor set, which I'm going to take the boots and nothing else of, I think, because the boots have feather falling on. But I think iron armor for everything else is probably better. I am going to keep these though, because the amount of durability we're taking is pretty high. Yeah, and that's the issue with the skeletons. Where I do quite like the swarming effect they have, it just eats through your armor durability a bit too quickly. Ooh. That did a lot of damage. Let's try and recover somewhat before we take on any more of these glowing creepers. The fact they're not invisible, I think they do more damage in this area. I think they have their explosion radius boosted, so even the non-charged ones are still a pretty big threat. Right, and those skeletons are also a pretty big threat. Let's get rid of you. Yeah, so I think I'm going to be using my bow quite a lot in this area. And let's use our speed boost to get away from some of these. Okay, so we've been over there. Let's come up here and try a change of scene. I need some more torches on my bar, and I need to eat. Yeah, so these vine pillars go up, I think, 3 levels. There's various different ways that move you up a certain number. So some go up 2, some go up 1, and I think the maximum is it goes up to 3. And let's switch to our fortune pick. And again, well, we got 2 diamonds out of that one, so fortune 2 is at least given us 1 extra diamond. Right, let's continue over this way. And I think we've skipped some of the middle floors, but I'm not overly worried about that, because I think we've got... I think there are only 2 ancient items in this area, and we've got both of them. There may be a third that I've missed. Oh yeah, this was this was the bit that we fell down. So you can actually fall in these gaps as well, but that's much harder if you're actually walking on them, not trying to fall. We want to get to that diamond block really, but I think we're going to head upwards first. So that, yeah, let's use this pathway. Let's get back down, actually, because that might go very badly very quickly. Whew. Yeah, this is quite intense, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing through the area. It's meant to be quite hard, and it's just difficult to get that balance between hard and fun at time. Or not? It's it's just hard. It's difficult to make it the right level of difficult and fun. I thought they'd got rid of the bug of... Well, I think it should be got rid of. Oh, they have incredibly short fuses as well. How fun. I think I may just ignore all of those creepers and come up here instead. Okay. The problem is going to be when these pigmen interact with the angry pigmen, and therefore I have to hit the one of the angry ones, and then all of these are just waiting for me down here. That's going to be fun. Let's break that. My chest plate has broken, which means if I take a hit, it's going to hurt a lot. I cannot heal, so I'm going to gradually retreat down here and then block it off. See a thing. I do not know if I'm safe. But I am on half a heart and I am very close to being fully dead. Let's swap out the helmet. Chain armor's not as good, but sometimes desperate times, etc. And let's try and come up here once more. And they hit each other, which is good, because I haven't hit either of them yet. And let's do that. And then retreat back this way. Oh, they have knockback resistance. That is incredibly annoying. I mean, it makes sense. It's probably a good decision to give them knockback resistance, because I think the default method of playing against stuff in an area like this is to knock it off. But yeah, I'm starting to hear a lot of ghasts as well, and I don't know how many of them are inside the roof and how many of them are outside, but they're still pretty scary. Either way. Right, let's load up on carrots. And then go and get the wool, I guess. Yeah, let's do our best to get the wool. I don't know how successful we will be, and what I'm actually going to do is block off here to stop any angry pigmen following me. Are none of these angry? Well, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure some of them are meant to be angry, but maybe I got rid of all of them because it was too spammy up here. And it's just a problem if you hit one of them, which is very easy to do. Because of the ghasts and everything else that's trying to blow up your face, you can quite easily am I stood in fire or am I just on fire? Yeah, shooting these blazes is terrifying. I'm just not going to. I'm going to eat this carrot because there's far too many of those pigmen just waiting to murder my face. At least these blazes we can shoot a bit more easily without risking the pigmen death. Kill this ghast first. I think it may be better for me just to get straight up to the wool. This area would be pretty easy with a fire resistance potion, but I do not have one of those. Let's kill that ghast. Yeah, I don't have a fire resist potion. I could get one, probably. I don't know if I actually don't know if I could get one, but I could have one, I'm sure, somehow. Let's kill that fire, please. In fact, let's just save up and get into the wall. Okay, lots of stuff spawning. I didn't realise there was stone up here. This isn't very good map making. You shouldn't just leave stone this close. It is surrounded by bedrock, this area, so you can't just tunnel to the outside, but I am not very good at hitting back ghast balls, apparently. Right. As I say that, I get the achievement for doing so. Right, my aim is to clear out that. I want to use the... Ideally I want to use my ender pearl to escape rather than to get to the wool, but I could always water bucket out of the wool, so it may be the case that I end up just ender pearling over there. Oh no, I used my ender pearl when I nearly died. That's so annoying. That's incredibly bad from me. What does one have to do? Let's use a better block. Get some of this cobble and use this because it won't be blown up by ghasts. I'd like to pretend that I just left this here so that you could do this, but in fact I just didn't use a wide enough radius on my world edit brush, which is probably what happened. Right. One of the few areas I've bothered to encase in bedrock though, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself. Let's do that. And that. The other thing that this area does, which is something I think I saw Render doing, was there are gas spawners just outside the bedrock, so you can't actually get to them. But yeah, there are gas spawners just outside the bedrock, which you can't actually get to, but they make it so that you always have gas noises in your headphones or in your ears as you're trying to play the area, which just makes it all a bit more stressful and probably makes this recording pretty horrible to listen to. So I will turn down, I'll just turn down game volume. Right. Not really making any progress here. Let's do this. Okay. Are there any skeletons waiting at the moment? Yep. Lovely. And we're not actually that far away from the wall, so we should be able to get there pretty safely. Okay, there we go. Problem is, as soon as I open up a path for me to get there, the skeletons can also get there. Thankfully I did actually wrap up the wall box in cobble walls and stuff, so that at least it won't get blown up. Bunker of stony safety. Grab some more cobble. Well, we're pretty much at the wall now, and once we've got it, we should be able to use a water bucket to escape pretty easily. And then we're not done with this area because we still have diamonds to get. We need to get enough diamonds to make a block at least, and may also be worth getting enough to make some armour as well, but thankfully I know where the diamonds are in the area, so just go away. Right, we're in, and hopefully we are safe. We have our red wool. We may now try and escape. Let's clear out underneath ever so slightly, and then let's do this. And hopefully we should be able to sail our way down on that water stream. This is the disadvantage of doing nether areas in the overworld, whereas lighting is either an advantage or disadvantage, how you think, depending on how you view it, but being able to use water is definitely a disadvantage in my mind, at least in terms of difficulty from a mapper. Right, let's go. We've escaped, we are free. We're not quite free, but we're closer to free than when we were in that awful place up at the top. And the gas sounds can get ever quieter. Let's hop down here. Hopefully I brought my water bucket. I saved my water bucket rather than just letting it remain in the wool box. So we can continue to use it in the area. And you can see, like, we explored quite a lot at the beginning, but there's still so much more to see. I would like to find my way out, though. because I want to. I think the way out is that way, just from where that emerald was. Right, let's see if there's anything over this way, because there may be, or there may not be. Such is life. Ooh. I'm kind of de-stressing a bit now. Just running through some of the quieter sections of this area, which I'm expecting to therefore be swarmed by skeletons at some point, but yeah, looks like we're fine for now. I'm completely lost as to how we get out of here. There's a chest, which I think I've already explored because there's a torch in front of it, but yeah, that was the red chest, so we can't be far from the entrance. Oh, we have found the entrance completely accidentally, or not accidentally because I was looking for it, but completely by chance. Right, I am going to... do I have a chest? No, I'm going to make a chest, drop everything off, and then go back in and try and get hold of the diamonds we need. Right, so let's get rid of everything here apart from that. Might as well keep the... we'll just switch to using all of that because it's got mending on it, but we might as well keep this in case I want to repair it. Drop up the red wool, keep that, and keep the coal as well. Let's keep that and make some torches. Yeah, we might as well make a couple of stacks of torches. And right, let's go back in. Do I want to take... I'm going to drop off the good pickaxe as well, because we won't need it that much, and we might as well have a good one in reserve. So we want to get up there, is where most of the diamonds are in this area. You can go down, you can go up. I'm going to go down and then try and see if I can get up from there. I was hoping that this would be a tower I could climb, but it does not seem so. Right, let's head back. And head up here. It's just very easy to get disorientated because even those staircases turn you around quite a lot. Okay, this is a safe place to bridge over because it's not lava. Right. It's also somewhere we've already been, which at least means it won't be trying to kill us quite so voraciously. And let's just pillar up. I wanted it to be, obviously with an area like this, like, people will just pillar up and that's fine, that's part of playing in survival. So I'm quite happy with that occurring, but I wanted to give you plenty of options to move around without doing that effectively, which I think I've successfully done. Right, there we go. Let's get that those diamonds. Still trying to head in that direction. So we need to go up one more level and yeah, one more level up and a little bit across as well. We may as well grab this diamond here. I don't really need to grab any of the single diamonds. There's plenty in the mine section that we're heading to, but even so, This would have been a much better mob farm than my stray farm, but I think it's probably best just to break the spawners. Would you go away, please? Thank you very much. And yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's the red ones that have the power 3 bows and the black ones that have punch bows. Power 1, punch 1, I'm pretty sure. So they can get pretty annoying and pretty scary if you let them go unchecked. Where is the route up to the next level? I could just pillar. Yeah, let's just pillar. But I know there's a skeleton waiting for me as soon as I come over the edge. So what I'm going to do is this. Oh, not just one skeleton. Very definitely not just one skeleton. Let's run away and try and win a sniper battle against a fleet of a squadron of skeletons. It seems like they managed to kill each other mostly. But we will still need to head back and get some more of them. Because they have knockback resistance, you can't even, you have to just kill them. Here is why there are so many skeletons, because of these spawners. I had my shield up. Yeah, because of those spawners, there are many a skeleton. And those spawners are ticking up. But that's fine, I can deal with creepers via using my bow. Whew. Okay. That was me walking on something, not something else behind me. And yeah, here we have the diamond mine, which also has iron and coal in it, I think. Iron and gold in it, sorry. But obviously the only thing you really want from this is the diamonds. The annoying thing, obviously, is that ores, unless you have like a data pack or something, sorry, a resource pack, ores all look like they belong with stone. And therefore you're kind of limited in the options you have for making ores. You can, because of block loot tables, you can actually do different ones, but let's just grab a little bit of this gold. Because of block loot tables, you can make your own ores in a texture pack, so that's probably something I'm going to do in future, or something I would definitely think about doing, because I like the variety of not just having every mine area being in stone. But yeah, here are just sort of, it's mostly red sandstone, but then in the sides it turns. And like, I remember in Legendary particularly, there's those big obsidian islands with, I actually don't think there are many mobs here, if any. There are those big obsidian islands with diamond ore in, and they stand out like a sore thumb, but maybe that's fine. Right, I don't want to grab all of them and then have none left if I die, but I do want to try and grab enough for a set of armor if I can. There are actually quite a lot here, so we should be okay. I just need to make sure I leave at least 9 ore so that we don't get locked out of finishing the map 32. I need 24 plus 3, 35. And let's take a little bit more, why not? Let's just take all of it. What could possibly go wrong? Right. I'm pretty sure there's another couple of veins in the area, which is why I'm not being overly worried about it, but I may look incredibly foolish if this does all go bad. Yeah, there's another pretty sizable vein down there as well, so we should be absolutely fine, and this will allow me to make diamond tools as well if I choose to. And I might as well grab some of this iron as we are here, and it's very dense iron compared to the mine in section 4. And then once we get back to the intersection, once we get back to the intersection, I'll end the episode, or I might actually hop into Spectator and kind of talk about how I made the area, and whether I would use the technique again, because it's quite a quick way of making a big area that has the layout you want, but I think it has some drawbacks and you just need to be a bit careful when using it. Right. But it sort of actually reminds me a bit of the game Townscaper, which recently came out, where you build. We'll take over a stack of iron, that'll be fine. Yeah, and there's loads of diamond in the walls here if we need it. Just need to make sure we don't fall in lava. Okay, and we have made it out safely, hopefully. Let's not lag and fall off. Yeah, we've made it out of the mines. No real mobs in there, so getting to it is the big threat and not really any issue once you're there. And getting back from the mine to the intersection is pretty straightforward as well, because we have a water bucket. So I can just run over to the, let's just do that. I can run over to the entrance up here, and then every time I'm going over one of those bridges now I'm worried. Right. So where is the entrance way? You can see there are some skeletons down there that I would rather not deal with. So I think the entrance is, down there. Right, let's drop this like so. Just let it fall, and then we can pick it up and drop in. And we have made it safely out of the area. So let's drop those diamonds off. And let's hop into Spectator quickly. Mode Spectator. Yeah, so this area was made, basically I drew out the layout that I wanted on a piece of paper. Actually, I think I might have used a spreadsheet. So I created the layout for each floor. And as it was building up, I would make a note on whether something was the first layer or whether it had anything underneath it. So for instance, in this middle column, I deliberately kept, quick spoiler on emeralds, deliberately kept this middle column completely exposed around the edges. So as I was designing the layout, I wanted to have this tower in the middle that has spawners, it has blaze spawners, it has some loot in as well. So yeah, you've got this big tower occupying the central pillar, and also by having this, it's directly from the entrance, you come directly to here. so you see it. You see that this is the central area, and I wanted to have that because it kind of gives the player an idea of where to go. Like, this is the center, and wool is almost always at the center of an area like this. So although it is maze-like, you come in, and I think most people would just go straight ahead. I went up there because I know the area better than this, but I think most people would come straight in, they'd get to here, and they would see upwards, and especially if you're on a slightly higher render distance. You get a sight of the wall box. So from... maybe you don't... can you quite see it? I think you just see, if you kind of come right to the edge, you just about see the wall box, but you definitely see that there's something up there. There's a gap and a place for you to go. So that's the kind of initial idea. And then, so once I had the layout planned, I then created 4 or 5 different sections to build from. So they are all either, I think, so we've got this section with the fire in, and basically they're built from the bottom up. So this layer is actually the top of a section rather than the bottom, even though you're walking on it. It's the ceiling, not the floor. And they're all the same dimensions, so 9 by 9 by, I think, 13 or 11. And yeah, and so once I'd planned out the layout, it was then a case of they all have this same floor with some holes to fall in, just to kind of add a bit of jeopardy when you're running around. So then it was just a case of building up that design in 3D. There's another red box for you. So there's the this central area with different bits on, and then linking up all the layers. So adding in staircases, hollowing out some of the towers and putting in vines along the sides like this to give you something to climb up, which gives the player a lot of movement options, and also limits or makes it much more confusing. If you've only got one way you can go, people won't get lost, even if it's a big area. Whereas with this, at every point there's so many different routes you can go, and the walls all look the same, so it can be just, it's very easy to get turned around, but that is the aim of a labyrinth area. And then kind of this intro section is just slightly different, with these taller segments and the red netherwart floor and stuff, but generally it's all these several different sections. So we have like a tower segment, one of these segments if I wanted to bridge over something, a slightly different bridge segment which had stuff below it as well. So yeah, it's sort of how you would do a procedural dungeon, but I did it manually. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in procedural dungeon generation. I haven't actually played Diorite Dreams, but I'm told that it's a good map, so I may play that in the future, because I kind of want to explore the ideas of procedural generation, and how you can do it well, and how you can do something, how you can use the ideas of procedural generation to make good areas in other ways as well. But that is going to be it for this episode. Let's switch back into survival. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.